In this video, we will talk about another tense, and that is present continuous tense, or we can call it present progressive tense. So, present continuous tense or present progressive tense. Sometimes it's called present continuous tense, sometimes it's called present progressive tense. Now, so what tense is this and how we can talk about it? First of all, let's talk about the structure. What is the structure of simple present tense? Now, the structure, we use subject plus to be verb plus verb ing. Subject plus to be verb plus verb ing. This is the structure of what tense? The structure of present continuous tense. Subject plus to be verb plus verb ing. Now, this is the structure that we use in present continuous tense or present progressive tense. Now, so in this continuous tense, all continuous tenses, we use verb ing. So before we start talking about present continuous tense, let's talk about the rules of adding ing. So the rules, let me write the rules of adding ing. So when do we use ing? The rules of adding ing. So let's discuss about the rules of adding ing. First of all, when do we use ing? The rule number 1. If a verb finishes with e, we remove it. We remove e, and add ing. It's very important. If a word finishes with e, we remove e and add ing. For example, if I have live, if I have love, if I have, for example, write, and if I have leave. So, if a verb finishes with e, for example, live, we remove e, remove and add ing. For example, it becomes what? Living becomes living. Love becomes loving. Write becomes writing. And leave becomes leaving. So rule number 1, if a verb finishes with e, could be any kind of verb, we remove e and add ing. Live becomes living. Love becomes loving, write becomes writing, and leave becomes leaving. So rule number 1. Rule number 2 is rule number 2. If a verb finishes with a consonant, vowel plus consonant. If a verb finishes plus vowel plus consonant. So what do we do here? If it finishes with vowel plus consonant, here we have 2 rules. Rule number 1, if it's 1 syllable. And the second rule, number 2, if it's 2 syllable verb. If it's a 1 syllable verb, here we have 2 kinds of rules. If we have 1 syllable and if we have 2 vowel plus a consonant. If I have 1 vowel plus consonant and 2 vowel. If it's 1 vowel plus consonant, we double consonant. Double the consonant. And after that we add ing. For example, if I have a sentence, a word like this. For example, we have rob, we have stop, we have sit, we have head, and so on. If it finishes, look here, we have rob. Now it finishes with ob. O is the vowel and B is the consonant. Vowel plus consonant. So what do we do here? It's 1 vowel plus consonant. We double the consonant and add ing. Rob becomes robbing. Stop becomes stopping. We have sit becomes sitting. Head becomes hitting. Swim becomes swimming. Beg becomes begging, and so on and so forth. The next one, if we have 2 vowels plus consonant, What do we do at that time? Two vowels plus consonant. For example, we have eat, we have feel, we have eat, feel, and here if you have two vowels, for example, we have meat. Now here we have eat is two vowel plus consonant, so we just add ing, just add ing. Feel becomes feeling, meet becomes meeting. Now, so here we discuss about rule number 2. If we have vowel plus consonant, what do we do here? We have one syllable verb and two syllable verb. If it's a one syllable verb, we have two vowels here. If we have one vowel plus consonant, we double the consonant and add ing. But if we have two vowels plus consonants, we just add ing. For example, for double, we have rob, robbing, stop, stopping, sit, sitting, hit and hating, big, begging, and so on. Swim, swimming. But if we have two vowels plus consonant, for example, eat, it finishes with e and a, two vowels, ing. Feel, two e, ing. Meet, two double e and ing. So eating, feeling and meeting. Or we also have rain, for example. Rain becomes raining. So this is the first one. The second one, if we have two syllable verbs, for two syllable verbs here, again we have two more rules. So we have rule A. If the first syllable, the first syllable is stressed, first syllable is stressed, the first syllable is stressed, and B, the second syllable is stressed, the second syllable is stressed. So if the first syllable of the verb is stressed, what do we do here? We just add ing. That's all. For example, if I have a sentence, a word, a verb, for example, if I have listened or offer, borrow, enter. And here on the other hand, if I have a word be gained, if I have admit, if I have submit, if I have compel, or that's enough. Now, if we have two syllable verbs, for example, listened, we have listened, two vowels, two syllables. So first syllable, second syllable. Now, if the first syllable is stressed, now here the first syllable is stressed, we have say listened. We don't say listened. What do we say? Listen. Or the next one, offer, we have borrow, we have enter. We don't pronounce it listen, offer, borrow, and enter. The first syllable is stressed. We say listened. So we are here, we just add ing, listened, offering, borrowing, and also we have entering. If it's the first syllable is stressed, we just add ing. But if the second syllable is stressed, we double the ing, the consonant, and add ing. Begin becomes beginning. Look here, begin, 1, 2, the second syllable is stressed. So begin becomes beginning, admit becomes admitting, submit becomes submitting, compel becomes compelling, control becomes controlling. Now, so this is how we can add ing. Let me repeat again. If you have vowel plus consonant, if the verb finishes with vowel consonant, two rules, one syllable, two syllable. If it's one syllable, we have two rules, one vowel plus consonant, two vowel plus one consonant. If it's one vowel, double the consonant and add ing. But if I have two vowels, so what do we do here? We just add ing. So if you have two syllable verbs, for two syllable verbs, the first syllable is stressed and the second syllable is stressed. If the first syllable is stressed, we just add ing. But if the second syllable is stressed, we double the consonant and add ing. This is rule number 2. So let's go to rule number 3. Let's go and talk about rule number 3. So for rule number 3, let's say if a verb finishes with y, before y, whether it's consonant or vowel, we just add ing without bringing any changes. For example, if I have play, if I have cry, try, obey, it doesn't matter. For example, we have play, it finishes with y, and before y we have vowel, just add ing. Or cry, it finishes with y, before y we have r, consonant, and add ing. All of them add ing. We don't bring any changes here. It's just vowel or consonant, it doesn't matter. So the other rule that we have is if a word finishes with ye, we change y to ie to I and add ing. For example, if I have die, if I have tie, if I have lie. Now, what do we do here? Die, ie changes to y here, and then we add ing. And tie becomes tying, and lie becomes lying. So here we have dying, tying, lying. The next rule, number 5. So if a word finishes with c, we add k, and after that we add ing. For example, if I have a verb like this, look, we have picnic, we have traffic, picnic and traffic. Now, for example, human trafficking. So if I want to add ing, we have to add k and ing. Traffic becomes k, and we have ing. So picnicking, and also we have trafficking. Now, these are the the important rules of adding ing. So for the rest of them, we don't have any specific rules. You just add ing. For example, speaking. And for example, booking, climbing, and so on. Now, sometimes there are some exceptions that we have in adding ing. For example, if a word finishes with age, for example, we have age, we have singe, we have die. Sometimes some verbs finish with the e, so here we don't remove them. For example, age becomes aging, singe becomes singeing, and die becomes dying. Now, sometimes we don't remove it. There are the exceptions. Or sometimes when it finishes with double e, for example, we have flee, we have see, flee and see. Now here in this part, we just add ing. We don't remove it. For example, flee becomes fleeing, see becomes seeing. Now these are the rules of adding ing. So now let's go and focus on the present continuous tense. Now we know how to add ing, because in the structure of present continuous tense, we have to use subject plus to be verb plus ing or verb ing. Now let's talk about the usages. That was the structure, and let's talk about the usages. When do we exactly use present continuous tense? Now, first of all, present continuous tense is used to talk about action happening now. It talks about an action just happening now, usage number 1. It talks about an action that is happening at the moment of speaking. For example, I am teaching English right now. So right now here, this is present continuous tense. I am teaching English. So if I say I am teaching English, this is the action that is happening now. Or the next one, he is drinking tea. He is drinking tea. Look at him. He is drinking tea. So I am teaching and he is drinking. So at this moment, he is actually drinking tea. Or next one, we can say, for example, she is talking. She is talking on the phone. Now, if I say she is talking on the phone, this action of talking is happening just now, at the moment of speaking. So this is the first usage. It talks about an action that is happening just right now, at the moment of speaking. I am talking. I am writing on the board. He is drinking tea. She is talking on the phone. They are talking to each other. He is checking the notebooks, and so on and so forth. The second usage, we use present continuous tense to talk about future arrangement, or we can also call it future plan. You talk about the future that is planned. Now, it's exactly like present continuous tense. and simple present tense. For example, I can say he leaves tomorrow, and I can say he is leaving tomorrow. So what is the difference? If I say he leaves tomorrow in this sentence, this is present, simple present tense, and he is leaving tomorrow, this is also present continuous tense. Now here, tomorrow future time expression must be mentioned, because if you don't mention, we get confused. Now what is the difference? If I say he leaves tomorrow, simple present tense is more formal, and also simple present tense is more impersonal, but this is a kind of personal. Look, if I say he leaves tomorrow, it means it's impersonal. It means it's a part of a plan. We made a plan, and then the plan is that he leaves tomorrow. But if I say he is leaving tomorrow, now it's a kind of personal. He makes decision for himself, so he decides and he leaves tomorrow. He's leaving tomorrow. So that's the difference. So the first difference, simple present tense is more formal. Here, let me write it down. It's impersonal and also more formal. And here, this is personal and also it's informal. So, or for example, we have a party. We have a party tomorrow night. Now, this is the future time expression. We must mention it. We have a party tomorrow night, or we can say we are having a party tomorrow night. So what is the difference? Tomorrow night, what's the difference? So the difference is that this is more formal, and this is a part of a plant. We make a plant, and tomorrow night we're gonna have a party. But if I say we are having a party tomorrow night, so here this is also future. Or if I say another tense, they are getting married. They are getting married. They are getting married next week. Now, so if they want to get married, this arrangement is planned. We cannot make a sudden decision to talk about something, or they cannot make a sudden decision to get married. They cannot make, for example, they cannot say that we're going to get married, or we should get married tonight. So they have to plan from a month ago or 2 months ago at a specific time, at a specific place, and invite everybody, plan everything. So we can say they are getting married next week. You can also say they get married next week. Now, this is the second usage of present continuous tense. It talks about future arrangement, or we can say planned future. Now, the other usage of present continuous tense, it is also used to talk about number 3, to describe. When you describe a picture, when we want to describe a picture or a person, we use simple present continuous tense. For example, if there is a photograph, and then if you want to describe it, we have to use present continuous tense. For example, we can say in the photo. If I say in the photo, the man is standing. So we don't have to say the man stands. We have to say the man is standing. And we can say and the woman is sitting on a chair. So if I want to describe a photograph, a picture, and then at that time I have to use present continuous tense. So in the photo, the man is standing and the woman is sitting on the chair. And it's also used to describe a person. For example, what does he look like? Or I can say you're wearing glasses. Or I can say she is wearing a ring, or he is wearing a red dress. She's wearing a red dress, and he is wearing a white shirt or white t-shirt. Now, to describe a picture and the person, if you want to describe, for example, physical appearance, the clothes, I have to use this tense, or we can say present continuous tense. So these are the usages of present continuous tense. Now, we can also use present continuous tense to talk about the action repeated, the repeated action in the action actually in the present, repeated action in the present. So sometimes we can also use it to talk about repeated action in the present tense, mostly together with always. So sometimes when you want to say somebody as a warning, tell somebody as a warning, we use this tense, this structure. For example, we can say he is always coming late. So here we can say he is always coming late. Now here you want to say it as a dissatisfaction. You can say he is always coming late. Now this coming happens repeatedly in the present tense. Or next one, she is always smiling. It means whenever I see her, she smiles. She's always smiling. I say you're always reading something. He is always arguing with people. It means this arguing happens repeatedly in the present tense. So these are the usages of present continuous tense. First of all, it talks about an action that is happening at the moment of speaking, or right now. And the second usage, it talks about future arrangement, or we can say planned future. And the other usage, it talks about to describe a picture or a person. If you want to talk about physical appearance or the picture, we have to use present continuous tense. And number 4, it talks about the repeated action in the present tense. If you want to talk about the repeated action in the present tense, we have to use present continuous tense. So sometimes here, they are the usages of present continuous tense. So let's give an example for present continuous tense. If I want to give an example for present continuous tense, for example, he is talking on the phone. Now if I say he is talking on the phone, this is a positive sentence. How can I change this sentence to negative? As we discussed, if you want to change it to negative, we just add not after the to be verb. So here this is the to be verb. We can say he isn't, or he is not talking on the phone. So, or the next one, how can we change it to question? So for the question form, we bring is at the beginning of the sentence. So we can say, is he talking on the phone? This is how we can change it to question. And how can we change it to negative interrogative? So we just have to say, is he not talking on the phone? And the other one, negative interrogative again, we can say, is not he talking on the phone? So from these structures, this is the formal one, this is formal, and the next one is informal. So if you use not after the subject, it's formal. But if you use not before the subject, it's what? Informal. So this is how we can change it to question and negative and question. He is talking on the phone, positive sentence or affirmative. He is not talking on the phone. Is he talking on the phone? Is he not talking on the phone? And is not he talking on the phone? So this is how we can change present continuous to negative and interrogative. So this is all about present continuous tense. So that's all. Thank you.